He invited the entire neighborhood for a friendly backyard BBQ. But behind the smiles and sizzling burgers, a storm was brewing. When the projector lit up the side of the house, it wasn't home movies they saw. It was betrayal, raw and undeniable, broadcast for all to witness. Subscribe to the channel before we begin the video. The smell of charcoal hung thick in the backyard as Liam Harper adjusted the knobs on his shiny new grill. He wiped his hands on a dish towel, watching the sun drop behind the roofs of their quiet cul-de-sac. Everything looked perfect, tablecloths secured, drinks iced, music humming through outdoor speakers. He'd even hung those warm fairy lights Kayla liked so much. To anyone else, it was just a neighborhood BBQ. But Liam knew better. This wasn't about burgers and beers. It was about truth. And tonight, truth was on the menu. It had started 2 months ago, little things. Kayla staying out late, blaming work, the change in her perfume. Her phone always on silent, screen tilted away from him. Liam wasn't paranoid. He was observant. She'd once told him that's why she married him. He noticed details. Well, now he noticed everything. The breaking point came 3 weeks ago when she came home from yoga with a grass stain on the back of her blouse and a smile that didn't belong to him. She didn't see the neighbor's porch light flicker behind her as she walked up their driveway, but Liam did. He followed her the next day. No confrontation, no accusations. Just quiet surveillance. He started with her phone. She'd changed the passcode, but she wasn't careful enough. A mirror and a camera while she typed it once was all it took. What he found made his stomach churn. Texts, dozens of them, photos, videos. She hadn't just cheated, she'd fallen in love with their neighbor, Daniel Hartley. The guy next door with the smug smirk, the perfect lawn, and the dumb gin tank tops. The same Daniel who borrowed Liam's ladder last week and asked about the BBQ like nothing was wrong. The betrayal cut deep, not just because it was Kayla, but because it was here, in his home, in his neighborhood. A front row show for people he'd wave to every morning. So he planned something, a party, a grand performance. And tonight, the curtain would rise. The first guest arrived around 4 p.m. The Langleys brought potato salad. The Nguyens carried trays of ribs. Kids darted between adults, chasing bubbles and laughter. Kayla flitted through the yard like the perfect hostess, smiling at neighbors, complimenting outfits, offering beer. Liam played the part of the doting husband. He manned the grill, shook hands, laughed at bad jokes. Inside, he was counting the seconds. At 6 p.m., Daniel arrived, alone. "Vanessa not coming?" Liam asked, voice neutral. Daniel shrugged, glancing around. "Nah, she wasn't feeling up to it. You know how she gets." Liam smiled. "Sure, well, glad you made it." He offered Daniel a drink and pointed him to the food. Kayla didn't meet his eyes. That was telling. The projector sat hidden behind a lattice of potted plants. Liam had tested it the night before. The side of the house made the perfect screen white siding, no windows. He even marked the optimal viewing spot with solar lights. No one suspected a thing. By 7:30, the yard was buzzing. Neighbors joked with one another, full from burgers and half drunk on beer and rose. The kids were watching cartoons inside. The sky had dimmed just enough. Liam tapped a spoon against his glass. Everyone turned toward him, smiling. All right, he said, grinning. Before we dive into dessert, I wanted to thank everyone for coming. It's been a rough few months at work, and Kayla and I just really needed a good night with great people. There was clapping, cheers, a few here's. Liam raised a finger. But before you grab another brownie, one more thing. He stepped back and clicked the remote in his hand. The projector hummed to life. At first, the image was blurry. Then it sharpened. A screenshot of a text conversation filled the wall. "Kayla, you make me feel alive in ways Liam never did." Liam watched the smiles evaporate. People squinted. Chairs shifted. Someone whispered, "Wait, is that?" Next slide. "Daniel, when can I see you again? I miss your skin." "Kayla, tomorrow morning. I'll say I'm going for a run." Gasps, confusion, murmurs. Kayla stood frozen, eyes wide. "Liam, what are you doing?" He ignored her. More screenshots. More texts. One where she told Daniel how she faked headaches. Another where she joked about Liam's cooking. Then photo selfies of the two of them in Daniel's garage, in his bed. One with her wedding ring clearly in view. Daniel backed away, pale. "Dude, stop. You don't want to do this," he said, hands raised. Liam turned to him slowly. "You did this. I'm just showing it off." Vanessa had appeared silently near the garden. Her hand clutched her phone. She stared at the screen on the house, then at her husband. "Tell me this is fake, Daniel." He said nothing. A video played next. Security camera footage from their own driveway. Kayla sneaking out barefoot at 2:12 a.m. Daniel's shadow waiting at the fence. The yard was dead silent. Liam let it play. All of it. No one interrupted. Kayla had sunk into a chair, head in her hands, shoulders trembling. Finally, the last slide appeared. A photo from their wedding. Kayla in her gown, Liam in a tux, dancing under twinkle lights. Over it, white letters. "Thanks for 7 unforgettable years, especially the last 2 months." Then darkness. Silence lingered, thick and stunned. Liam stepped forward again. "Some of you brought dessert, but I think we're good on sweets tonight." There were chuckles, nervous, unsure. "I just wanted everyone to know what goes on behind white fences and garden gnomes," he continued. "You think you know your neighbors, your spouse? Sometimes you don't. Sometimes they share more with each other than with you." Daniel tried to leave, but Vanessa blocked his path. "How long?" she asked, voice shaking. "How long were you lying to me?" "Vanessa, listen." She slapped him, hard. A collective wince passed through the crowd. Then she left, head high, silent tears streaming down her cheeks. Daniel stared after her, lips pressed tight. Then he turned and walked the opposite direction, toward his home, his fortress of shame. Kayla didn't move. Liam looked at her one last time. She lifted her face, streaked with mascara, trembling. "Why did you do this like this?" He paused. "Because," he said softly, "you didn't just cheat on me. You made a fool of me." And I thought, why not return the favor? She opened her mouth, but no words came. Liam picked up the tongs from the grill. "Who's still hungry?" He called out with a smile. After a beat, someone bold, perhaps tipsy, said, "I could go for another burger." And just like that, conversation resumed. Soft, awkward at first, but soon the party found its rhythm again. People avoided eye contact with Kayla. No one looked toward Daniel's house. Liam flipped burgers like it was any other night. Later, as the crowd thinned and the lights dimmed, a soft voice spoke behind him. "Hey!" He turned. Emily, the new neighbor, stood at the edge of the yard. She held a paper plate and a curious smile. "Bold move," she said. Liam exhaled. "Necessary." "You okay?" He thought about it. Really thought about it. "Not yet," he said, "but I will be." She nodded and offered him a brownie. "Well, here's the truth." He took it, and to starting over. The lights glowed soft behind them. The night carried on. quiet but no longer heavy. Liam had burned it all down with a smile, a projector, and the truth. And somehow, what rose from the ashes felt lighter. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.